Interview preparation is not difficult. It requires correct planning and execution. If you can execute the 5 steps I'm going to discuss, you can easily ace your next interview. If you're a student preparing for esteemed government exams, these 5 steps can help you leave a positive impression on the interview panel. It can help you transform yourself and be a better version of your own personality. Let me share these 5 steps with you today. Let's begin. Number 1, refine and clean your biodata form. Spend time on it. Discuss it with your friends and a mentor. The interviewers know nothing about you other than your form. This is the only document through which you can communicate to your interviewers before your interview actually begins. If this document is well made, dishonest, rational, logical, and crafted with perfection, you will witness that the interviewers will take more interest in you. But on the other hand, if it is a shabby job, the interviewers are bound to take you lightly and assume that you are not the right person for the job. So make sure that you take your biodata form seriously and you fill it with utmost dedication, because it is the only personification of you in front of the interview panel before the interview begins. Step number 2, interview is in question answer format. Therefore, start thinking, writing and speaking in question answer format only. Let's take an example to understand this. Let's say the question is population a strength for India or is it a liability? And you have to answer it within 10 seconds. So you will say, sir, it becomes a strength if the population is transformed into an asset through good education, good health, ethics, and freedom to think. However, the same population can also become a liability if it is not trained well to become a productive member of the society. See, all it took was 10 seconds to answer the question well. It's possible. All you need to do is train yourself in thinking in terms of questions and answers. Let's come to point number 3. Create a list of areas from where questions can be asked. For example, educational background, work experience, if any, gap in education, if any, current affairs, case studies based on job profile, and questions on hobbies. These are all areas that can be asked. Once you have this list, start writing potential questions that can be asked from all these lists. You can easily create up to 500 questions and their answers. Once you have them, you will feel more confident about yourself and about your knowledge. Let's come to point number 4 or step number 4. Start practicing in front of the mirror. This is the most important part of your preparation because this is the practical part of the preparation of interview. It will give you a clear idea about your weak and strong areas. Some students are weak in expressing themselves, some are shy, some are too detailed in their answers. Some students also end up beating around the bush instead of answering the question directly. All these and many other mistakes will come to light automatically once you start practicing in front of the mirror. You get to see who you really are. You get to see what your interviewer would see in the interview. You can pick up questions framed by you and practice their answers. Remember, interview is a game of probability. If you practice 500 questions, you might get 2 questions from them in your final interview. If you practice 1000 questions, you might get 4 questions. But if you practice none, all questions in the interview are going to be new to you. Let's come to point number 5, personality. Personality holds a big part of your interview. There are instances where I have seen personally students not being able to answer enough questions, but their personality is likable. They are honest, confident, and rational in their approach. On the other hand, I've also seen many interviews where even though the students were able to answer all questions, the interviewer did not feel a kick. The panel thought, and it often says, he looks like a nice chap, but we're not so sure if he's the right person for the job. Your job, your role is to combine 2 things, honesty and rationality. Honesty, because they want to see the real you. Rationality, because you are going to be responsible for the future of this country. You cannot be blunt and stupid all the time in the name of being honest. Diplomacy becomes a necessity when stakes are too high. The good news is that honesty and rationality can be developed. All you need to do is look closely at your answers. Look closely at your reactions to questions where you tend to go blank. Look at how you react. Combination of honesty and rationality will teach you how to respond and not react. It will teach you how to be honest, yet mature with your answers. Remember, it's not just an interview, it's also a discussion where the panel wants to meet you, wants a glimpse of your personality. Now, the question arises, I'm sure you must be asking this, how do I develop my personality? It's not too difficult. In order to develop yourself, practicing in the mirror, one of the steps before, and writing down your answers, and then recording your reactions where you are not aware about the answer. These are good starting points to developing your personality. You can also take personal help from your friends or a mentor who can take short interviews so that you can ask them about gaps in your personality. Your parents can also be a very big help here. Just give them a list of questions, put a camera on, record your answers, and see after your interview how you actually responded to their questions. So these are the 5 steps that can help you transform yourself. Remember, the interview panel wants you to come prepared. It wants you to know what you are talking about. It appreciates serious candidates who give their interview the attention as well as the importance it deserves. This was all from my side. I will see you again soon. If you wish to say anything, feel free to pen it down in the comment section below. All the best.